hate puppies.
Oh, yeah.
Good podcast.
New York. I feel threatened.
That is New York in a handful.
Yes. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what beer you should be drinking next weekend. Brought to you by Screen Door Mortgage. You know they have great rates and even better service. Did you know that, Troy?
I did, and I was drinking out of my new Screen Door Yeti cup the other day, and someone commented on how awesome it was and how awesome it was that Screen Door gives you a Yeti if you use them.
See? There you go.
Win-win.
You can't ask for more than great rates, great service, none of that Arctic crap.
I'm drinking. I mean, you see it. It's in my hand right now. Like it's my new go-to cup.
Dude, Screen Door Mortgage, the best.
Yeah.
The best.
The best.
If you need a mortgage, go over to screendoormortgage.com. Jimmy will take care of you. It's literally what he does for a living, but somehow, strangely, it also seems to be what he wants to do. He actually enjoys it.
He really does.
He calls you right back. He returns your text. He's doing whatever it takes. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
Solid guy.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome
Woo.
home.
I'm tired, dude. And it's a pit stop.
Yeah,
It's just a pit stop.
You're just checking in.
Just stopping into the shithole of a house.
Yeah, your rundown house.
Oh my gosh, dude. We went away to New York. So my girls, we took up to their aunt's house. So they did their thing.
Nice.
We went on, but I was gone.
I thought you were already up there for work, right?
I was.
Okay.
So I was up there for work in the most beautiful part of New York. They call it Times Square.
Ooh.
So nice.
So nice.
Get to see the naked cowboy.
Yeah.
I was literally right next to the wax museum. I mean, you can't ask for a worse place.
Dude, my boys saw some stuff up there.
Oh yeah.
The painted up naked ladies.
Oh, they actually probably liked that.
Yeah, they were cutting eyes.
I don't blame them. I would have cut eyes. Yeah, I got there. I got into Times Square, and
that's where you were like housed up. Like that's where work had you.
I had a meeting literally in Times Square.
Wow, I didn't think anything was in Times Square, but now I've been to New York 3 times. I'm not like some world traveled New York guy, but like I assumed from every visit I've ever been to Times Square, there's nothing but crap there.
That is correct.
Okay, but there are offices and stuff
in the basement of my hotel was an Applebee's next door to the damn wax museum. I was like, this is the worst.
Yeah.
But I got some of that famous New York pizza, Sbarro.
God, I love that joke. That joke never gets old.
This is so good.
I love that joke.
For those that haven't seen The Office, Michael Scott goes all the way to New York and can't wait to get his favorite slice of New York
he's
pizza.
Talking directly to the camera, and he's like, when I'm in Times Square, I get my favorite New York slice. Camera pans around, Sbarro. Kills me every time. I don't know why that one kills me. It just does.
I walked out of my place. I went for a walk. Went down, just was miserable looking at all these people in these places. Cut down an alley. In the alley, found a guy who could only afford a window out of a building in between 2 restaurants. And he had this little thing, and he just had like meat back there and stuff. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
You're my guy.
Yeah.
There's no line.
Yeah.
No nothing. I was like, make me a burrito. He made me a dope burrito. I took it, threw it in my bag, went back up the stairs to my place.
Nice.
Took a boating exam.
That's right. You're a boat owner now, so you got to get your boat
I
license.
need a boating license.
You did that while you were in New York, in Times Square.
I sat in my room.
I got to do what every great Times Square visitor does. Take a Virginia boating license exam.
I sat there for like 5 hours. The sun went down. I totally missed that Times Square had come alive right outside my window. And like I was getting ready for the big test and was like, looked up. I was like, all right, test time. And then I looked around the room. Room's completely dark. I have one light on the desk on. Like this has got to be the loneliest look. Like, I look up and then I look outside and there's like all the lights
all
are
the
going.
Neon
all
and
the
everything.
crazy. And I was like, ugh. I closed the blinds.
Yeah.
Turned on more lights in my room. took my exam, 96.
Nice.
Not
Congrats.
bad. Not bad. I was pretty happy about that. So now I'm a boater.
Now you're ready to rock.
Woke up the next morning, did my meetings, got through it, and then
They go all right?
they went very well. And then I proceeded to completely screw up. I wasn't even my day had ended. It was about 3:30, I would say. And they were like, "Hey, you want a drink? Dinner's not for another hour and a half. Like, you guys want to sit out on the rooftop and have a beer?" And I was like, "Oh, no. It's a little early for that. Like, I'm going to try to be good."
I thought you did that a lot at work. Like y'all, like you're glad handing and like happy houring and like that's kind of your part of your job, right?
I knew I was going to be in New York for like 4 days.
Your official, unofficial part of your job.
So I didn't want to push it. And so, but I knew my wife was on her way up, and I texted her and was like, "Yeah, I just
like on the way up that night, like
she was coming into New York, that night." Because then I had one more night in Times Square because I had to go out and do the whole glad handing thing. And then after that, we were going to shift. We were getting out of Times Square.
Nice.
As soon as I could.
Why? Sbarro, Applebee's, all the greats.
It's got all the stuff. I know. It was wedged in between a
wax museum.
There was a Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
Nothing says it's 5 o'clock somewhere like Times Square.
And it says it everywhere on that place. Everywhere on that place. Every door you walk through, every ledge that you see says it. I was like, this is horrible.
What was it? What was the Margaritaville? I've been a Jimmy Buffett parrot head since high school, but I don't recall there being this moniker before the Alan Jackson Jimmy Buffett song came out. Like, what did Margaritaville hang its hat on before it's 5 o'clock somewhere? I mean, everyone was obviously partying and drinking in Margaritavilles, but it feels like that 5 o'clock somewhere was
really set it off.
Really just really drove the point home. Like,
I guess you're right.
You really don't need to wait. Like, let's get turn up at 10 a.m.
And they were. My God, were they? They were making things happen. Horrible. Yeah. Just horrible.
But so anyway, you went out for early drinks before the drinks.
Well, I didn't. Everyone else was drinking, and I was like, I'm not drinking. I texted my wife, and I was like, oh, man, I've been offered drinks. It's only 3:30, and I was like, I'm abstaining because I know there's a long night ahead of me for when you get up here. So I'm like, I'm being good. And then it was a little while, and then she responded. She was like, "It's so funny you say that. They were taking so long in the dining car that I had to get 2 Prosecco's." And I was like, "Oh my crap!" I was like, "So now she's ahead of me." She's like, "I've been drinking since 1." I was like, "Oh crap!"
Wow.
I was like, "Okay."
Oh, she took the train up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Now I got to play catch up."
She didn't put the thought in that you put in.
I think more about that kind of stuff.
You think about her.
Yeah,
more than she thinks about you. I think.
I think that's probably
she was doing her New York trip started on that train. Like
as soon as the kids got off the train, and were with Auntie.
Yeah,
she was in New York.
Yeah,
even though she was still in Virginia.
And that's kind of true, right? Like you get on a plane, like when you go to spring break and you lift off, and
spring break's happening.
Yeah, whatever airport you're in lifting off of, you're in paradise.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
You're in a metal tube. 3,000 feet in the air, but you're on vacation mode.
You're on vacation. I was not. I was still working.
Yeah.
And then we went out to dinner and started having drinks. And
so then once she texted you the double Prosecco, you were like, all right, well, now game on.
I still made it to 4:30.
Okay.
Had a beer and was like, okay, I'm fine here. Went out to dinner, had a beer. And then everyone else kept ordering like liquor drinks.
Uh-oh.
And then I screwed up. I shifted gears. Because I was like, it is easier to just get liquor drinks in this place.
Yeah.
Started doing that. Then she showed up after dinner and we left. More liquor drinks. Then we hit another bar. Decided to have some old fashions. Hit another bar. Decided to have some old fashions. Went to the hotel bar. Decided to get an old fashioned.
Oh, wow.
Woke up the next day. I haven't felt that hungover in forever.
Wow.
I think it was just all the liquor.
Yeah.
Ruined just a bad start.
How late did the night go?
Don't know. Actually, I do know it got close to midnight.
Okay, but it wasn't a 2 a.m. night.
No,
Yeah.
but I felt like it was 6 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
You know, it was, I got out over my skis real quick. And then that laid a foundation that was not great the next morning.
So how does it work? Because my wife and I were talking about this the other day. She's having a girls' night, and they were going to like go over to a friend's house and wait for the friend's husband to get home so someone could watch her kids, and then they were going to go somewhere else. And my wife's like, no, I don't go somewhere else anymore. Like, that's just not part of my thing. Like, we go somewhere, we have a drink or two, and then I go home. Like, there's no... So, like, I guess when you're out of town, you want to go to the different places, right? So you and the wife were trying to, like, see different places. But, like, if you find a cool spot that you post up, like...
We try to post up. I try to post up longer. So this was a weird trip, man. We didn't have anything that we had to do. I was trying to get us tickets to see Tyler Childers at Radio City Music Hall, only for me to find out that I was a whole day off. And my plan,
I can't find these tickets anywhere.
Turns out he had played Thursday night, and I had us locked and loaded for Friday night. So when I had that realization later that night, I was like, oh crap. He already played, because I was starting to see, like, I want to see where the tickets had come down. I had horrible miscalculation.
That happens.
It was just a screw up, just a little screw up on my part. Oops.
By the way, I think I just swallowed a fly.
They're in here, man. They're in here. They'll choke you out.
I wasn't going to say anything, but it's been a running gag on the show, so I had to bring it up. That's what that coughing was about.
I get it. So we decided just to do, like, some, like, walking tour stuff. Like, we'd popped in a couple bars and that, because I felt bad, man. I felt bad. We went to our hotel.
Y'all are still in Manhattan, or had y'all
I got out and
else?
went to Greenwich Village. So still
Which
in Manhattan, east side.
Okay.
And then, like, I just felt so bad. So I went and got Bagel. Bagel always kind of set you right. Walked around. And then decided, you know what? Let's go find something. So we decided to go to the Beastie Boys mural.
How does she feel?
Pretty bad. Pretty bad. She and I were both in rough shape.
Yeah.
So we decided to go for like a long walk. It was like a couple miles to this Beastie Boys mural. There's this corner where the cover for the album Paul's Boutique.
Yeah.
They took that picture, and that's kind of become a famous corner. Well, fast forward a few years, they ended up dedicating it, you know, when Adam died.
Yeah.
So
MCA.
if you want to be cool, Adam Horowitz,
Yeah.
the rabbi. So they even have like,
He was my guy.
yeah, there you go. So
He was my favorite. I liked him.
I mean, he was the man.
Yeah.
So we decided.
Mike D was kind of the, without saying it, the leader, and Ad Rock was the like.
Ad Rock. I mean, come on. You could have put Grimace in there from McDonald's, and they would have hit. Oh, they're probably not making friends with people out there right now with comments like that. But we decided to do that, and the only thing that could get us out of it, man, like, no joke.
More drinks.
We put headphones in. We put on Paul's Boutique, and we just started walking through the streets of New York. And we walked all the way down to the Lower East Side and went and saw the Beastie Boys mural.
Nice.
Hung out there, took some pictures, found a shithole graffitied up bar across the street.
Were there a lot of people
pissed.
there? Like, did anybody care?
No.
Yeah.
We were the only people taking pictures of it at all. But it was like a pilgrimage for us. Gave us something to do.
You sent the picture. I saw the picture, but I didn't know it was a thing. Like, I just thought, I mean, you go to these large cities, there's murals everywhere. Like, so I just thought you guys happened upon it. I didn't know.
No, it literally got dedicated. And I saw something a couple years ago that they had dedicated Beastie Boys Square.
But then get like painted over like everything else?
Not really.
That's
They kind of hold that one together.
nice.
But that and like you could tell as we were getting closer to the Lower East Side, like as you're walking, you start in Greenwich Village, it's all nice and like high end, and like it just gets worse.
Yeah.
Worse. And it was great. Exactly what I needed. I needed like the world's worst place.
Did y'all, and that kind of got your bodies back right?
Yeah.
that was a slow, yeah.
Well, there was more to it without getting into the nitty gritty details. So everything, like they legalized marijuana in New York, like completely.
Uh-huh.
But they did it really screwed up. Like not as screwed up as Virginia.
Yeah.
But still fairly screwed up.
Yeah.
Ely's calling me. Right now.
Answer that and put him on. See if he wants to be
I don't have the correct
crap.
the correct hookup, unfortunately.
That's a shame. Isn't this it?
To the old phone.
Not the iPhone.
Unfortunately.
That's a shame.
But we were
So how'd they mess it up?
So apparently what they did is when they legalized, they said we're going to give out 20 licenses, like official licenses, where like these places are recognized by New York, and these places you're going to have to pay taxes into the New York coffers.
I mean, they've already figured out how to work around all this shit. So I can only imagine where you're going to go with this story, because weren't they already doing it, the whole like buy our artwork thing years ago up there?
I know that was a DC thing. I don't know if that was I don't know. They probably were.
I'm sure it was everywhere.
Yeah, you're right, because before they had actually had like recreational stores, they did have kind of that pseudo market. Well, that pseudo market is blown up. So now you have 20 stores that are officially like recognized by the state and by the city, where you pay your taxes into it. And so their prices are a little higher, but their standards are a lot higher as far as like what can be there.
And they're regulated.
Yeah. So you have 20 stores that are regulated, and then you have a shit ton of unregulated kind of black market stores that are selling a lot of like Delta 8, Delta 9, like hemp derived things. But then, of course, wink, wink, here's all the other stuff.
So they do that like they do, like the fireworks stores do. Like,
absolutely,
they front the legal stuff, and then in the back they got the real deal.
All the other crap, right? But I had found like a very nice, like recognized by the city place, and went in and checked it out. And dude, it was like going to a Sheetz or a Wawa.
Oh yeah,
where they had touch screens.
Yep.
And you go in there, like you could see all this stuff, but all ordering, everything takes place via a touch screen. So it has real like Apple Store / Wawa vibe to it. And they come over and they walk you through, and I'm like talking to them about different things. But you order everything right from that. Then you put your name in, boom, and then you go get in a line, and then they go in the back and they bring out your order, and it's like wild.
Yeah.
Like super cool. But I just happened to cross one of those on the way to the Beastie Boys Memorial.
And you were just doing research.
I was just doing research.
Yeah.
And then I just bought some candy there.
Nice.
Yeah. Just some like little gummy candy of sorts.
Yeah. Gummy candy. These gummy worms make me feel fun.
But they're like really, really like mellow.
Yeah.
Like, cause I talked to the kid. I was like, look, man, I'm not trying to get, like, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Basically, like, I'm here because I think I'm dying.
Well, don't those places basically treat it like medicinal?
Yeah, and that's why I was like,
where
look,
you go in with any
ailment.
Yeah, any ailment, you're like, my right knee is twingy, and they're like, here, use this. Or you go in, you're like, I have an earring, and they're like, here, use this. Like,
yeah, I was like, I woke up super hungover. I had a bagel to try to fix it. So far, I'm not feeling better just yet. I was like, so I'm basically, I'm going for a long walk. Dude's like, oh, well, this is exactly what you need. I was like, fantastic.
He's just over to click-clacking, like, hungover, on a long walk.
I was like, my stomach
weather
hurts.
Is this? Some stomach hurts.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to puke. Like, I'm not feeling so great.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, he was spot on. Like, mentally, I was like perfect, normal.
Yeah.
Physically, everything melted away, and I was just walking like, woohoo, Beastie Boys pumping. I was like, this is not bad. So when you say,
that's awesome.
When you say, did it work? I'm like, I wasn't going to get into all that, but yeah, it worked. It worked really well. Like, I felt fantastic. And by the time I got to the mural, like, I know I was there, but my legs weren't. I was like, this is fantastic. Like, my body's great. And then I just sat in a bar across the street. And I certainly did not belong. My wife and I did not belong in that bar. It was the perfect bar for me. Like, I was having a blast. So we did that, and then we just decided.
You mean you didn't belong as in those weren't your people, not you didn't belong as in you just had nursed yourself back to feeling normal, so you shouldn't have been back in there.
I shouldn't have been in there, but also
you shouldn't have been in there.
If you walk, like if you looked in, you'd be like, who doesn't belong?
Yeah.
Like clearly my wife and I were the ones who didn't belong. But I also felt like this is exactly where I need to be right now.
Yeah.
And
that was the bar you felt like you should be in.
It's not like anyone had an issue with me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if an outsider came in, they'd go, who doesn't belong? And clearly we didn't belong. But had a blast. And then we ended up walking out of there and then just walking, walked all the way past where we were, all the way down to another part of New York. Like we
wow.
Some crazy fucking thing. All these helicopters started showing up and all these cops started coming and like racing down like past us. Every cop from every street. Woo, 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 woo. 4 helicopters just circling, going nuts. Apparently some Twitch nerd like
that's redundant.
Decided, some Twitch geek is even more redundant. But so this Twitch nerd decided to give away like PS5s and he put out on social media, I'm going to be in Union Square and I'm going to hand out these. And it went like wildfire. And I couldn't figure out what was going on because like kids were running by me in every direction talking about, I could use a PS5. I could use a PS5. And some of the kids are running the wrong damn direction.
Yeah.
But all the cops are going this way. And like they had to basically shut down the city. I came back through there like 5 hours later and it was still 25 cops for every person.
What's a PS5 cost? $500?
Yeah, but you can't. They're hard to get.
Oh, they're still hard to get?
Apparently.
Wow.
So this dude was giving them away, but it created a flat out mob scene.
You know when 7-Eleven does 7-Eleven Day and they give away Slurpees?
And everybody shows up.
Everybody.
Did you get a Slurpee on Free Slurpee Day?
Dude, if you gave me $100 bill to go in there and get a free Slurpee on 7-Eleven Day, I would not go in there.
I went in with my kids, and it was a line out the fucking door.
Why would you do that?
Because I saved $1 or $2.
You're everything I hate. I see people that do that, and it makes me want to throw my hands in their face.
Did your kids say, hey, Dad, it's Free Slurpee Day?
No.
See, my kids brought it up, and I felt obligated.
And you say, yes, I can get a Slurpee tomorrow for $1. We will go then.
Yes. The first 7-Eleven I went to had a big sign on the door, Slurpee machine broken.
Yes.
It was like, well played, 7-Eleven.
So you spent so much time and energy to get a free Slurpee.
Yes.
That is insanity to me. Like, I can't begin to wrap my head around that.
Got that free Slurpee.
You're supposed to be the one who spends your money at a ridiculous rate.
Don't worry, I went to New York. I spent so much money. I didn't buy a drink that was less than $22. I felt at least the first in Times Square. That's literally every drink was $22. That's why I kept buying liquor drinks.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I may as well.
Is it the same price as a beer? Beer's $22?
Beers were like $15. So I'm like
literally a 12-ounce beer?
Was $15. So I'm like, I may as well just have a old fashioned.
I thought I was going to freak out when I was at the ballparks and I saw 12-ounce beers going for $12. I was like, thank God I'm not drinking. Like,
I was in a sport coat though, so I was asking for it.
Yeah.
But so we definitely had a good time that first day. But then the next day, dude, I went to I just was hell bent. I was like, I want to go to Brooklyn. I need to get
Ever been?
I feel like I'd been to Brooklyn when I was young, but not since it was hipster.
Yeah.
Like cool, you know? So I was like, I need to go over to Brooklyn. And the only thing I knew was I had a beer the night before, and it was from a brewery called Grimm, and it was one of the best beers like I'd had. It was an amazing Hefeweizen. So I said, I'm going to Grimm. So I just...
You knew they were in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just carried my ass to Grimm, which, here's a little pro tip. Don't carry your ass to another part of town and go to a brewery because you're going to end up in the industrial part of town, not the part of town you meant to go to.
Yeah, breweries are still in the shady parts of town.
Yeah, so I ended up in an industrial part of Brooklyn, like...
Not the cool spot.
I was like, this is not what I expected from Brooklyn at all.
This isn't that nice at all.
No, I was like...
There's a lot of abandoned buildings around here.
Brooklyn's kind of a shithole.
Yeah.
But the beer was amazing. The place filled up with all kinds of cool-ass people. Yeah. But then we just left and same thing. Like, all right, let's start walking. Let's figure this out.
You're just wandering around Brooklyn at night?
It was daytime.
Oh,
This is the next day.
Okay.
So, like, I have a buddy that lives in Brooklyn. I haven't seen in 15 years, maybe more.
Uh-huh.
So I hit him up, and he's like, oh, man, I'm over in Queens. He's like, but I'll be back around, like, 4:30. I was like, all right, just let me know where I should end up. And he was like, there's a brewery called Ebbs that you should get to. And I was like, all right. So we literally did like used record tour, just hit record shops.
Nice.
Like on the way back. And that.
Did you buy anything?
Oh, yeah. The Beastie Boys In Through the Outdoor. That was the grooves that turned into Paul's Boutique. I had a very Beastie Boys weekend.
Nice.
So that was
I've never even heard of that.
fantastic piece of vinyl. I'll let you borrow it.
Nice.
Very good. But so ended up walking from an industrial part of Brooklyn, and just by taking the record stores and getting back towards this brewery, ended up right in the heart of all the awesome.
Of hipster?
Yeah.
Hipster town?
It was fantastic. And if you follow any record trail
Yeah.
to a brewery that's in the city, yeah, you end up seeing it all.
So did what would you compare it to? Like an area of Richmond or somewhere else that like people that have never been might be able to think about.
Yeah, that's interesting. So so Richmond people, I started in Scott's Addition.
Yeah.
And then I went walking for a little while, and I ended up cutting through Baltimore. It was like the closest thing that I could like equate it to. And then I popped out in Carytown.
Nice.
And then that was really cool. Ended up having like some crazy margarita that came in a watermelon. Because when I saw that, I was like, hey, I need to pop in this place. Did that, and then ended up in downtown, like in the cool part of Brooklyn. And there's really not anything like that around here. That really was cool. Like cool row houses leading up to it. That's the Baltimore vibe.
Yeah.
And then when we got in there, I mean, it was lively. Like, it was really, really cool. People were having a blast, and like the hipsters didn't seem too douchey at all.
Nice.
Everyone, because I was in like Williamsburg, and everyone's talking
Take
about
the subway over there, right?
I did not.
You walked?
No. I took
you Ubered from
took an
Manhattan?
Uber across the bridge.
Yeah.
And then just walked until I couldn't walk anymore.
And y'all were staying back in Manhattan?
Yeah, in Greenwich.
So then you had to Uber back?
Yeah, and then Sunday was a totally different thing that ended up with me listening to jazz by myself because my wife was passed out. That's how like my last was me sitting there just listening to some jazz duo. Like, yeah, I've made it.
Sunday night or like Sunday during the day?
Sunday night. That was I the magic hour occurred with me just listening to jazz. But Sunday was a lot of work.
Your 2 days of fun caught up to her?
It definitely got her. She was just asleep, and I was like, the sun is up. And I was like, I'm gonna go down, and then my wife at one point in a drunken stupor bought like a bunch of like really high end like Italian bacon, and then like some high end Italian mozzarella. So then the rest of my weekend, because I'm in a little tiny hotel room with clearly no like refrigerator.
I was gonna say, do you have a kitchenette or anything?
No, but strangely, I'd had my wife bring my Yeti cooler. I go, hey, I can fit all the clothes I need in this. So bring this little soft Yeti cooler.
Yeah.
So then for the rest of the weekend,
you had to like keep ice in it. And
I was putting ice, and I couldn't get ice because this little place. So I was getting cups of ice from the bar.
Oh my god!
I found out later that you could get buckets of ice. But for the first like 24 hours, I kept getting cups of ice every time I was downstairs. I was like, hey, let me get a cup of ice, like putting it in. But I had to it was like caring for like bird eggs. Like this mozzarella.
Oh, yeah. Like
and
you had
bacon.
to keep it alive.
Yeah. Like I had to keep that shit going. But I managed to do it. I carried that stuff back. Because I was over there. I'd gotten some like pesto and some different things that I wanted, a little Italian market.
Yeah.
Nah.
Did you eat it? Was it worth it?
I knew the stuff that I'd got.
Yeah.
Because I can't find that stuff around here. But no, the bacon and the mozz, I don't know what the hell is mozzarella is. I got it back here. It's sitting in the fridge now. It was an interesting trip, though. We ate. There was one night we had dinner twice.
Because
went out for a nice Italian dinner, and we go walking, and my wife's like, "We need dim sum." I was like, "What?" She was like, "Absolutely, we need dumplings." I ate so much. It was brutal. It was fun.
Y'all went hard, man.
Went hard, real hard.
And you got back Monday?
Yeah, I took a train back yesterday. And like worked on the train, came back here, worked some more, and now we leave on vacation tomorrow.
Man,
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was fun.
I'm sure
it was definitely needed. I was shocked at how many electric skateboards there are in that town.
Like in the Manhattan area, I don't remember seeing a lot
All
when
of
I was walking around there a month and a half ago.
Well, you saw electric scooters, right?
Yeah.
So I saw electric scooters everywhere.
Yeah.
But then I started noticing how many people have electric skateboards, which seems like a sketchy ass thing to be. It's bad enough to be like weaving in and out of traffic on a scooter. Yeah. And the electric bikes are everywhere. Everyone's on bikes. But the electric skateboard dudes.
Are they on the street or are they on the sidewalk?
They're on the street.
Oh, wow.
They're in there dealing with the traffic. And I've got one. I know what it's like.
Yeah. And you wouldn't do it.
I was nervous for them.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you'd see them break through traffic and gun it and phew, gone. Like faster than the cars can go. But also trying to kill yourself.
Well, that was like on our cross-country trip. In other states, lane splitting is legal. I don't think it's legal here in Virginia.
Lane splitting with motorcycles. Yeah.
And like I'd be sitting in some traffic somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Or some other, never in the middle of nowhere, but you get it. Like in a place I'm not familiar with, and then a motorcycle just zoom up past my window, and I'll be like, "Holy shit!" Like,
and when they're going fast,
yeah. Well, I mean, when you're at a standstill, 25 is pretty fast. You know, within inches of your face.
Yeah. But I'm saying when you're going down a highway, and someone blasts
and they do that too. Yeah,
you're like, this is how you die.
Yeah. Well, that's how motorcycles get a bad rap.
Yeah, but then what happens? Someone changes a lane or does something, and then the motorcyclist dies.
Yeah.
And then you're like, stupid ass car did it.
Or someone looks at their kid or talks to their wife or looks at the radio and drifts 1 foot to the left, still inside their lane, and pushes you out of the way.
It's not smart.
No.
I drove motorcycles for a couple years, and I never split a car.
No.
Just didn't have it in me.
No.
It just seems sketchy. Seems sketchy.
Yeah.
Now I've done it on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Which is the same stupid ass thing.
Well, not at the speeds though.
Well, that's those electric bikes are doing that all day because they fly.
Oh yeah.
So are the skateboards. So are the one wheels freak me out too.
Oh yeah.
The guys in the one, and I love they got the electric one wheel that we're all familiar with. But then in New York, they got gas-powered ones that have big old engines on them.
I haven't seen those.
That's like the Grubhub people.
Oh, my gosh.
They're just filling it up all day.
Yeah.
Flying. I was like, I do like all the alternate forms of transportation. I opted for feet.
Yes.
Lots of feet.
I feel like I keep seeing more and more people bitching and complaining about these food delivery services. Have you noticed any of that?
I don't complain about them. I know you're not a fan because you don't want to pay
the
extra money, and I get that. But
I also don't really want people that tend to have like bad attitudes about their job, like handling my food before it gets to me. Like a lot of them seem pissed off.
You tip early, you tip often. That helps.
Yeah, but I don't want to tip on something I'm already paying an exorbitant amount for anyway. I
think you have to suspend all of that because as soon as you go, I'm going to use this app, just understand that that's a $40 Chipotle burrito.
But I can't bring myself to pay that.
That's fine. I'm saying don't open the app.
Yeah.
Unless you are willing to say.
I can't believe the amount of people that are okay with that.
I mean, I'm certainly probably more okay with it than you are. But even I have my limits.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm not doing that. I can just drive over and get it. So I find myself doing that a lot. In the city, though, I saw a lot of like, not Grubhubs, but like just a local one.
Yeah.
Like we're the Greenwich bike guys. And this is what we do. And they have their own app. And they just hit all the stores and they bring it. And I wonder if they're a better deal.
Well, it's like here locally, and I'm sure across country, Chick-fil-A now has their own drivers.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah. They're like, screw you, DoorDash and Grubhub. Like, we'll get in the game, and guess what? We'll do it better.
Yeah, because we're going to be friendly.
Yeah.
Like, you're concerned. One of the things you brought up two concerns. Money and attitude.
Yeah.
Well, I can get rid of the attitude. Chick-fil-A.
Well, it only makes sense. Like, if Chick-fil-A, like, if you're spending $50 to $100, why wouldn't they deliver it? I mean, that's pretty much what pizza and Chinese food's done for years.
And what did we do for decades? Bitch about the fact that you can only get Chinese food and pizza.
Yeah.
Now you got Chick-fil-A on there. And Chipotle. technically, but they run through DoorDash. But
Oh, do they?
But you can order on their website and use their app. And I can almost guarantee you they're going to screw up your order. So it's a nice little gimmick.
Exactly. The only time I could ever have seen myself doing this is really never. But like, I get when you're hungover and you feel like death on a Saturday or Sunday morning and you need some food.
Yeah.
I can understand that. But like, you just see people like ordering Starbucks in the afternoon to their house. And it's like,
that I can't get behind.
that is insane, you know, or like a McDonald's meal. Like, everyone is always within 5 minutes of McDonald's. Like, just drive to McDonald's.
Just about everywhere in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. My daughter the other day tried to order Popeyes.
I mean, in her defense, she can't drive. So I could be like, okay, I get that. But like, at the same time, you also cannot work and make money. So don't spend my money like that.
Yeah, but I told her, I said, I can't help you here.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not doing it. Now, good news, I've got some crap I've got to do in an hour. So when I go out, why don't you join me? I'd be glad to take you by Popeyes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to pay to have fried chicken delivered.
Yeah.
But I can get you fried chicken, and it'll even be better.
Yeah.
She refused. It just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
She ended up magically finding all the food that she said we didn't have in the house.
She's got that magic thing women have where it's like, I want it to hurt you a little. I want this transaction to hurt you a little, right?
Just
like,
a little.
Yeah. Like, you might have been gifted a bigger diamond. I don't want that. I want you to pay for it. Like,
yes.
You might have come across this gorgeous bouquet of flowers, but if you didn't come out of pocket for it or you didn't do something, like, it doesn't mean as much.
I noticed my wife has developed a little trick because she knows that I'm like trying to save a little money. So the whole time we were in New York, if we ever went somewhere and we got one drink, like just a pop in, have a drink, check out the vibe.
One
like
each or one total?
Just one each. She all of a sudden she'd pull out her card, boom.
Yep.
Put it down. I'm like, huh. All right. And she's like, well, I'm just trying to help out. And I'm like, you're more than welcome to help out at any of the other stops where we're here for 2 hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'd be glad to have you help out there.
When we've each had 4 drinks.
Yeah, and a meal.
Yeah.
Like, that's helping out. Nah. She'd be like, I noticed you had a Miller Lite.
Oh.
Allow me.
Yeah. She's smart. She knows what she's doing.
Once a day, she picks her time and goes, honey.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to save money. This is not the help I needed.
No.
How about the second dinner?
That was your idea.
Yeah. That we had to have.
Yeah.
Had to have. Yeah, that's where it adds up quick. Can't complain though. I mean, had fun.
$22 a drink, it adds up quickly.
Adds up real fast.
Yeah, I bet y'all spent a pretty penny up there.
Could buy a jet boat. You could buy a jet boat. That's the hilarious thing. You look at you find
you're not lying.
You find a deal like that on a jet boat.
Yeah.
You go to New York, you pay for all the stuff, you got the hotel, you do everything, you walk out of there. You could have 2 jet boats.
Yep. Or a really nice regular boat.
Something with a propeller.
Yeah. Like, because the whole point was you want a boat, but you didn't want to spend X amount of money. So you settled on whatever the jet boat was, but you could have had a better boat.
Oh, yeah. No, I stole the jet boat, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But I also could have just not gone to New York and had a bitchin' boat.
Yes.
But instead, we do it all.
You got both.
We do it all. Yes. Oh, speaking of jet boats, our boy Shell reached out.
Oh, Shell, he's reached out before.
Yes. I always like when I see him reach out.
I always like when any listener reaches out, but
all
especially Shell.
You go to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. Very easy.
That's simple.
Love to hear from you. And he was excited. He was excited for the boat. And apparently his dad's a listener.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So a shout out to Shell's dad.
That's cool.
Yeah, his dad seems like pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they started talking about jet boats in general, and then I guess Shell's brother also, like, he and his brother have worked in marinas for.
Let's not jump over the fact that this podcast was a discussion around a table. Like,
I love that.
That is wild
like
to
a
me.
dinner
Like,
conversation.
yeah.
They're talking like there's other.
Have you
people.
listened to the newest episode? Yeah. Can you believe Brendan bought this jet boat?
I kind of like that.
That is
right?
wild.
But the general consensus around their table was, this guy's fucked.
Yeah.
Because they said they've been working in marinas and moving boats and docking boats. Like nobody, and when they didn't say most. They said nobody who has a jet boat can pull it into a slip or a dock.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work because you can't steer them. Once you cut the engine, there's no steering.
There's no steering.
A propeller, you got a rudder. It
idles.
Even if you cut it and you just turn the rudder, it's still turning.
Well, and it idles at low speeds. You have to gas the jet boat to get it to really move.
Yeah.
Because when it's idling, it's not really doing anything. And the one good thing, I mean, if you've ridden jet skis, so you know how they're hard to maneuver at low speeds. But the good thing is they're small. Now, your jet boat is small, but it is bigger than a jet ski. So, yeah, it's going to be a learning curve.
But he gave me a little confidence with his little, it was basically like, I was getting side-eyed through the email, like, you're in trouble. But then he said, the truth is, though, if you can master that, you're going to be set when you have a real boat. Once you have a propeller, like, you're going to understand so much more because you've dealt with the worst.
Yeah.
So I got that going for me, which is nice. Oh, boy, that's loud.
If and when you master it.
If and when. We're going to start with if.
Yeah.
We're going to end it when.
Because that means you got to do it on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be getting that jet boat this weekend. So actually, when this podcast comes out, I should have the jet boat in my possession.
Then on our next podcast, you can tell us all about it.
Yeah, how I slammed it into a dock and I no longer have a jet boat.
It's at the bottom of the river.
Yes, that's precisely what those are my intentions.
Yeah, and then you'll be like, I could have had another trip to NYC if it weren't for this jet boat.
I could have made it.
Yeah.
But no, I slammed it into a yacht. Now I'm paying on a
God.
yacht.
Do not do that.
I sure hope not to.
When in doubt, just slow down and get out of the way.
Or just get really good insurance. That still doesn't save your life.
No.
Yeah, I took that boating exam. I know now.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Yep.
I still haven't mastered all of the horns. There's lots of horns. I don't hear people doing horns.
Nobody uses horns.
Yeah.
Nobody uses horns.
I kept having to take these interactive quizzes where I'm like, they're like, it should have been 2 long bursts.
Yeah.
And then pull to the right. And
Yeah, I mean, if you use a horn, by then it's too late.
Oh, here's another thing. If you come up on a naval ship, don't use your horn. Apparently that's a bridge too far. Just get out of the way.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I know this. Burp. And then turn.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you can't use your horn within like 500 yards of a naval boat. I was like, the fuck?
First off, I can only imagine the horn that's coming on this air quotes boat you're getting.
I'm definitely buying a handheld.
It's gonna be like, meep, meep. It's gonna sound like the Roadrunner. Like no serious boat or ship is gonna even hear you. It's gonna be like, what the hell? What was that? Did y'all hear something?
Seems like we have a jet engine stuck in the hull. It's odd. Yeah,
I'm excited for you, dude, because that's something I would never do.
We're all excited.
I could never pull the trigger on it. I'll be at my waterfront property without a boat this weekend.
It's the thrill of the fact that I knew 1,000 people were hitting this guy up, and that I had an in. I was able to backdoor.
You just want to say you're a boat owner. That's what it is.
But it's also the thrill of the hunt. Like, do you ever mess around on eBay and like it's like truly a bid situation, and like you're like, I'm going to spend X, and then all of a sudden you get in those last 2 minutes. And it starts running. Your heart starts racing.
Yep.
Then it goes right past X.
It's the same thing that gambling is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a rush.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I got caught up in the rush of like, I want this deal.
Yep.
I think I got this. Before I knew it, he was like, are you serious? I was like, bro, I've never been more serious about anything in my life. Anything.
I'm surprised he's still sitting on it for you.
Oh, yeah. He was so tired of dealing with people. He was just like, I would be glad to just wait till you get back and just deal with you. I was like, perfect. I'm on the road for the next, like...
Do you have to lay anything down to hold it?
I just
No?
told him I'm your guy. I did text him from New York, like I will be near your river house
Yeah.
next week. You know, what are the odds? And he's like, I think I'm going to be up there. Should be no issue. And I was like, all right, what else do I need? And he was like, a 2-inch ball hitch.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one of those.
Yeah.
Went through my wife's truck, found it. My brother-in-law's already offered to back it into the water for me. I was like, this is going great.
You taking the wife's truck up there
I have
to
to
pull
now.
it back?
I have to now.
You don't think your 4Runner will pull it?
I know my 4Runner will pull it. I just don't know that. I have a 2-inch ball hitch on the bumper.
Oh yeah, you don't want.
I don't trust that at all. And then I've got an actual
Class
receiver
3
hitch
yeah.
down below, but it's not the right size to receive
The 2-inch.
the thing that my wife. So I'm just like, God doesn't want me to do this. Now
No.
that doesn't mean I won't hook it up and drive it around just to see if I hear like a pull. Maybe it will work. It would definitely look.
Do you know the weight of the boat?
Yes, I do. I'm working. I think it's only like 1,500.
I was gonna say probably 1,800 pounds.
I think it was 1,500 pounds drop.
I mean, the 4Runner could pull it, but I don't know if I wouldn't drag that thing up the road with the 4Runner. Like that's an old truck, man. Like there's no need to put added stress on it. Just because.
I promise you, it can tow it.
Yeah,
What I'm not certain of is if it can stop it.
yeah,
It's got those old drum brakes on it and everything.
yeah. Well, and do you want to drag it at 60 miles an hour up a road for 2 hours straight? Like that's just not.
Not really, but drive it a mile down the road here.
Yeah, I mean,
might do that.
Yeah, you could do that. I
might
would do
do
that. But if you were going to go up to the Northern Neck or something, I wouldn't
Not
put that stressor on it.
It's not the one.
No.
Not the one. Speaking of going though,
Is it deli time?
yeah,
Is it time already?
I got a deli that was built for a little beach time. Little beach time.
Is it the Solace one?
Yes. It's for that beach time. I'm getting ready. I'm going to be down there.
Beach bod.
That's the one.
Watermelon Vit.
It's going to be good.
5.7 ABV.
Perfection, right?
Brewed and canned by Solace Brewing in Sterling, Virginia. Oh, this is a Nova beer.
It's going to be perfect.
Beach bod. Why in the hell would you name your beer that?
Because I'm going to be shredded.
That might be one of the dumbest names I've ever heard.
Beach bod?
Yes.
Coming from a guy who puts all his effort into beach muscles and not functional muscles. I'm fired
I
up.
mean, this can is weird looking with that name. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
the whole thing's a little odd. I just bought it.
I know. You got to buy the new stuff when you find the new stuff.
That's right. I was excited for this, man, because I've had ever since I got back, nothing in this house has worked. Like nothing.
Yeah, dude, you're on a losing streak, huh?
Yeah, so we came home last weekend for a minute, only to find a tree had fallen and crushed the fence.
That's an understatement.
I think we talked about that a little bit.
That tree was epically big.
Yeah. So then we turned around. We called insurance. We got them to look at it. We turned around. We left, came back. Air conditioning out. House was like 88 degrees, full of humidity. I was like, oh, this is not good.
That is not good.
No. So then we had a tree laying across the fence, air conditioning down. One of the cabinets in my kitchen.
Hold on, is the AC out in the whole house?
No, upstairs. Upstairs. Downstairs was working. Thank goodness. And you know what it was? It was a fucking fuse.
Oh, you got it fixed?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I called the plumber.
Nice.
Plumber does HVAC too.
Yeah, he does.
Took care of
They
it.
do it all.
Yeah. So it's like literally some weird fuse. And I pulled that fuse and looked at it, and it looks like a bullet. I'm like, I can't tell if there's anything wrong with this.
Yeah.
So just stuck it back in. They came out and they were like, oh, yeah, it's this $400 fuse right here. I was like, oh, cool.
A $400 fuse? Well,
$375. I'm exaggerating.
but that's not the fuse price. That's the cost of
That's the whole
having
project.
them out. Yeah.
Yeah, all in.
Yeah,
but I mean, come on.
You're $150 in when they show up.
But I could have just gone and bought a fuse.
Yeah.
But there's no way, like most fuses, like you look inside the glass
Yeah.
and you see that it's frayed.
And it's
you're
burnt
like,
up.
oh, it's
Yeah.
burnt. This thing's like metal. You can't see. You have to like hook up a capacitor
Yeah.
of some sort. I'm like, well, I know what I don't have.
You need a multimeter to read across it.
I've got a multimeter, but don't you still need power? Or no, the multimeter has a little power. Well,
Yeah.
I could have tested this.
Yeah,
but
but
I also
you don't know.
I have a million things that could
Yeah.
be. So
You're not an HVAC guy.
no, not yet.
Well, now you know
If and when.
if it breaks again, you know where just to troubleshoot there.
Something to check. Oh, beach bod. Watermelon wit. Huh.
Oh,
You look like someone just shit in your mouth.
I wish someone would.
That's not a good sign.
That is weird.
Okay, so not to bury the lead, but I don't think you like it.
Yeah, let me sit on this one and think for a second.
Yeah, I think you certainly need a second sip. But that first one, that was a bad look. That was like Malort farted in your mouth.
I'm not a big watermelon fan, but that doesn't taste like watermelon to me.
It's watermelon adjacent.
It's way more tart.
Yeah, well, that could be the wit.
The shit.
It's something. Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, I changed it from.
Pretty smart. You're pretty good.
Yeah, not my first rodeo.
I see that. Ooh, the beach bod. This doesn't have a lot of beach bod to it.
Yeah, and I'm the one that doesn't have the poker face.
Yeah. This is, are you already ready to pass judgment here?
It's not getting better. I mean, if it got better, it wouldn't change it.
I'm going to ask you to go in one more time then. I believe that this one is going to change the game for you.
This is my fourth sip.
This is the one. I mean, at this point, you should have an opinion. 4 sips. No doubt. You love it. You like it. Okay. We just went up half a point for sure.
Not even a little bit. I'm trying to decide how low I want to go.
The fact that you just poured it out is not a good sign.
I'm racking my brain to find the redeeming quality in this. It smells okay
Oh, there you go.
on the nose, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can actually smell watermelon
Yeah,
more than you taste it.
more than you taste it.
And it's got a little wheat beer action, so it's light and refreshing.
Is it?
It is. The watermelon's not helping.
It's extremely tart to me and doesn't really taste much like watermelon. Smells more like watermelon than it tastes. I can't. This doesn't even get into the 2s for me.
Wow.
I mean, my 2.5's always been an average beer. This is below average. I don't like this beer at all. I damn sure wouldn't tell anybody to drink it. I gotta go 1.5 on this.
1.5.
And I feel like I'm being generous. I can't think of a beer I dislike much more than this.
So, okay.
I know you can because your memory is great with these things, but this is not.
This beer here, what I do like about it is actually that little bit of like lemon wit beer. It's definitely got that going on. The watermelon doesn't cut it right. The watermelon is certainly like, it's like Jolly Rancher watermelon.
Yes.
It's kind of the ballpark we're in.
But again, like grape, can you really make a watermelon flavor?
It's like simple syrup you're about to like pour
know.
in a cup. Okay.
I just wanted to see if it was still good.
I'm between a 2 and a 2.5 here.
You like it that much?
Because I don't think it's totally disagreeable, but so here's the screwed up thing. I'm going to finish it. And that's why I think that it's not egregious. But I also don't want to put it up into the 2.5 and just say it's average. It is below average.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 2. It's going to net out at a 175.
Yeah.
That's not a strong score.
No. And I feel bad that you bought a 6-pack of that. Or a 4-pack, I think.
Oh, and it took me half an hour to buy the damn shit. I went in the place and all of their stuff was down. They couldn't get anything to work.
Was this at the local?
Yeah. They couldn't get any of the stuff to work, so it was just nightmarish trying to get it to happen. So yeah, the whole thing whole experience wasn't great. Actually, I shouldn't say that. My daughter mowed the lawn, and the only thing I had to pay her was whatever candy she wanted from that place. So at least I had somebody to stand next to and complain about the
That's a pretty solid deal to get out of a teenager, dude.
Dude, considering what she got ended up being like 2 packs of Nerds. I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah. I spent $30 in that place, and it was all just Miller Lite and this beer. And then a couple packs of Nerds, and she mowed the lawn for the first time.
That's awesome.
That woman wanted some candy bad.
She really did.
She was like, I don't even know how to do it. I was like, I would love to train you. You know, like let's move this forward.
Yeah, I got, your daughter and my son are the same age, and I got him this summer working on that, and it's been a huge help. Like,
it is a huge help.
Yeah,
I don't think people realize how.
We came home. We were grilling out Sunday night. We had some family over. We came home from the pool at 4:00. He started cutting the grass. The other son started weed eating. And I started cleaning up like the backyard and like blowing stuff and getting the grill out. Like we turned the yard around like
by
30
happy
minutes.
hour, everything looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You know what else you need to get that stuff good, man? You ever get sprayed for mosquitoes?
I never have done that. Y'all do that though, right?
We have had every mosquito company in the world. Just about. It's
I always felt like it was a scam, but I've also heard good reviews from certain people too. But I also feel like if I were in on that hack, if I were paying a mosquito company, I'd be like, yeah, it's great. Like, it's totally worth it, you know?
So my wife,
I want to drink the Kool-Aid.
It works. I can tell you this. It works. I get absolutely crushed in other people's yards, and I do not get crushed in mine.
See, I'm biased because my wife gets eaten up. I very rarely get but a few, so it doesn't really.
Well, when I say
I
get crushed, I mean the family gets crushed, because I'm like you. They just don't really like me that much. Like, they'll bite me, but they're not like, I don't get crushed all over. My wife and my kids would get destroyed.
Yeah,
and so they spend the money. They get sprayed, but my wife is a big fan of if you get bit, call us back and we'll give you a respray.
Yeah. That's how my, now we have, as long as we've been in the neighborhood, had a pest guy.
Pest guy's good.
And do y'all have a pest guy?
Yeah, I fell victim to a really attractive sales
that's
girl.
right.
Yeah, so now I've got a 2-year commitment to a pest company that doesn't answer their phone.
You and I both live in the woods. Like, if you don't have a pest guy, you will get ants and spiders and all that shit. Because
all kinds of crap. We're still eating flies out here every episode.
Exactly. But my pest guy's the same way. Like, if I see anything in between the 3 months, they come out and redo it. Like,
yeah. And that's just like part of the cost.
Yeah.
They know that they're going to get calls from a certain percentage of the
and
people.
Certain people, I've never called them back.
So my wife calls the mosquito people. If one mosquito bites, if one kid comes in and says, oh, yeah, I was outside and I got bit, my wife's on the phone immediately.
I see that.
So we have been through so many mosquito companies.
Oh, because they get mad at y'all?
They get sick and tired of the amount of resprays, but my wife expects perfection. And look, she's paying for it, so I don't bitch.
Yeah, but there's a fine line, right? Like,
well, and that's what I'm always busting her chops.
That's kind of what we were talking about pre-show.
That's a whole another thing. But we just got dumped by another mosquito company. Like, they break up with us.
You're going to run out of mosquito companies, right?
We just had to run it back. There's this one, like, just sadistic mosquito company that they love the abuse. I think they sit by the phone waiting for my wife to call and say, you fucked up. Because I have been dumped by Mosquito Scout, Mosquito Joe, Mosquito Authority.
How many recalls are what has to happen to get to that point? Because I can't imagine it's the first time you call.
Well, the first time you call, they go, tell me, where did you get bit? What's going on? And they really try. And then they come out and they do it again. then they spray, and then they come out for their scheduled spray, and then inevitably they get called again.
Yeah.
And it usually takes about a season before they dump us.
So 3 times?
Just a summer.
Yeah.
You know, because they always start in spring and they go into fall. They like spring and fall. They can win.
Yeah, yeah.
They can't win in the summer.
There's not a lot of mosquitoes now. No. Hey, we're out here just spraying.
We're just spraying, just poison everywhere.
Yeah.
Why not? You won't
Except
have
this water and sugar or something. Like it's probably like
I can
placebo.
always tell you how good the mosquito spray is by the lack of fireflies, which breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But if I see no fireflies in the summer, I'm like, they got some potent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried all natural companies. We've tried all chemical companies. We've tried the in-between.
The problem is you.
Yes.
Like, you can't sit outside and not expect it. Like, the mosquito companies, they're not guaranteeing 100% no mosquitoes. They're saying, we're going to help your situation out. Like, so if you get bit, you get bit.
But their guarantee is 100%. They have to give 100%.
They really do?
Yeah, they can't give
Why wouldn't they say 99%?
They can't give you a sliding scale of like.
Yeah, but why wouldn't they say 99%? That's what everything that works 100% of the time, they say 99.9%.
They say no bites.
Well, that's on them.
Yes. Well, we just got dumped again. It broke my heart. The dude literally called us back, and I was like out with my wife at dinner, and she's like, "Oh, they're finally calling me back." And I was like, "I know we don't answer the phone during dinner. Pick that up. Like, pick it up." And it was the owner. And he was like, "Ma'am, I just can't make you happy. And I'm realizing that. Like, this is unfortunate, but your contract, I'm letting you out of your contract." That's the polite way of saying get the fuck out.
Nice.
I'm letting you out of your contract. My wife was like, "I'll be damned." And this one company, these sadists, they've been sending her like postcards, like trying to get her back. They love the abuse.
So, but what's her take on y'all getting the boot all the time? Is she okay with that? Like, does she think it's on them? Or does she realize the fault in her expectations?
I think she's fully aware of the fact that she's nuts.
Uh-huh.
But also fully aware that don't guarantee 100% if you can't do it.
That's not how you operate. That's not how I operate. Like, doesn't that bother you that she calls those people and
Yes,
annoys
I bust
them?
her balls, and I wrote it down on here. Dumped again. Like, yes. Like, it kills me. Like, I can't keep a mosquito company except for this one. And they were so excited to have us back. They showed up the next day.
Wow.
They were out here like, "Oh, yeah." They're like, can't wait to get yelled at. Like, they're sadists.
I mean,
they should just be called Sadistic Mosquito Company.
I mean, the fact is, like, when you live in a neighborhood the size of your neighborhood, my neighborhood, any average neighborhood, unless your neighbors are doing it too, like, it's not like your house is sitting on a 5-acre plot of land and like,
yeah, and they can just lock it up.
Yeah.
No, in fact, my old house in the old neighborhood
was even smaller.
Next door had a above ground pool that they would just like
they wouldn't take care of.
No, so it was just stagnant water.
Mosquito hotel.
Yeah, and this dude used to stand in the yard and he would have these little wafers of mosquito death.
Uh-huh.
And he would just throw them over the fence into their pool.
Oh, nice.
The whole time. And like he would just make sure no one was looking and then he'd throw poison in their pool. And I would just laugh. Because like you couldn't swim in it.
Yeah.
You know, it was a quarter full.
Yeah.
Of stagnant water.
Yeah.
He would just throw that stuff over there and he was like, "I can't seem to figure out what the problem is. It's got to be that pool."
Yeah.
They keep throwing them over. We eventually
Well, because your yard this yard's 3 times bigger than your other yard. So like.
But to your point, if other neighbors join together and do it, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Like you're going to do much better. But if their neighbor's just full of stagnant water, you're humped.
Yeah.
And that's another way I know of a good mosquito company. If you walk around and everything that had water in it is tipped over,
yeah,
it's a good sign.
Yeah.
When they leave and I walk outside and I see that bowl sitting there with water in it, I'm like,
yeah,
you're not even trying. You don't even understand how this works.
You see a Frisbee that's full of water, you know, you see like.
It takes very little water for mosquitoes to have 1 million kids.
What is going on in this room?
I don't know.
The bugs.
See? They hear us talking about it.
You need to get the your pest guy out here.
It's all falling apart, man. I'm telling you, everything. I can't think of all the things that are going wrong, but I mean, everything around me is falling apart.
You started by, I cut you off, the cabinet.
Cabinet was just hanging, one hinge, just gave up the ghost. It was just hanging sideways. We came home, one dog had his dew claw torn off. He was like limping around. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's just...
That is so wild.
AC out, trees down. Like, I'm telling you.
A cabinet to fall apart without someone touching it is very weird.
It's one of those cabinets, though, that every week or so you have to take a screwdriver to.
Uh-huh.
I think when the AC went out and
all the humidity might have jacked it up.
I think that screw just backed out. It was like, yeah, I think we're good here.
It literally could have softened the wood around it.
Yeah.
If the humidity gets high in the house like that.
Yeah, because we walked in, this house was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. Even with the AC running downstairs, like downstairs was hot and humid. It was, but like everything seems to just be screwing up.
Yeah.
I can't figure out what's going on, but I'm just in one of those moments in time where every day you're going to come across 2 or 3 things that you're like, oh, that's kind of a catastrophic fail.
I'm kind of like that with my cars right now. Like they're all due for inspection. And like one of my cars I went to get in the other day and the battery was dead. So I got to get a battery in an inspection. And then like a couple of them need oil changes. And it's just like one thing after another.
I'm waiting for the shoes are going to keep dropping. I hope yours Peter's out at cars.
Yeah.
Because I'm finding that everything's requiring $500 minimums.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. It hasn't been.
We got our bill for the hospital visit for my son while we were in Nevada. And it was like, $150 for the copay. And then we got the bill and it was like thousands of dollars. Just thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Insurance taking care of it?
Insurance take care. A lot of it, they still want like $350 from us.
Yeah. Vegas though.
Which isn't bad, but you're like, I still thought my insurance, he got checked in and got his blood tested in a bag of fluid. And it's like thousands of dollars. Like, you're like, this shouldn't be like this. Like, our healthcare is a little whack here.
Oh yeah. Don't spend too much time scratching that one.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it, but it clearly is. There's a lot of things that are wrong in that.
Well, and sometimes, like, I've heard stories, you can just tell those guys to pound sand and they'll just be like, okay.
We'll charge the next guy.
Yeah. We'll try the insurance again or something, but like, we're not going to sweat $350.
We'll get ours.
Yeah.
That peptide, the thing I'm doing, the HIT,
yeah,
HITX. So I ended up getting a bunch of blood work done, and they like sent a bill to him, and my buddy was like, "Yeah, so now they're trying to charge us this blood work," and he was like, "Give me some information here." I gave him some information. He was like, "I'll make this go away for you." And I was like, "Now that's customer service.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Hit me up. Go, hey, I just need some basics."
So what? He got your insurance to cover it?
Yeah, but they already had, the other place had it. He was like, "Nah, fuck that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You just make it go away?" He was like, "Yeah, I'll make it go away." He's like, "Aim to please." I was like, "All right."
I thought you were done with that.
I am, but the bills are still coming.
Yeah, exactly.
I am, but I tell you, it's that stuff. I want to have him on the podcast, actually, because they just got their new website done. They're officially, like, they're in a good spot.
Yeah.
I want to have him on. I want to hear kind of the genesis of this, how it came to be.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about it.
I think it'd be interesting to hear his take. And he literally did say, he's like, "I want to come on the podcast." And then I told him, "That's fine. I'm in town for 3 days over the next month. And Troy and I will be doing podcasts during that time."
Yeah.
So, if you can make it work. And he was like, "No, I want to be on. Like, I don't want to just call in." I was like, "I respect that attitude."
Well, it's better. If you're going to have a long form interview with the guy, it's definitely better.
Sure. But if you're going to do like, I think it's easier to get in and out with your credibility intact than to let me give you a shot of Malort and like
True.
have a typical inside the pallet house experience.
Yeah.
I think he's probably better off just doing a phoner.
Yeah.
Giving us 30 minutes of great content and leaving.
Yeah.
He stays here for an hour and a half.
It could go sideways.
There's going to be 30 minutes of great content, and then there's going to be an hour of discrediting him by showing everyone that he's also a dude.
He'll be telling his worst story of taking a 3.
Yeah.
And
so then I'm in the ocean. The old Taylor Carson. I am very familiar with that. My wife the other day told me, "Oh, so Taylor got married." I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." He might have gotten married.
I thought he was married.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to unravel.
Well, I mean, he's got like a 10-year-old kid, so I assumed he got married years ago.
Oh, well, that marriage I know is over.
Oh, really?
For a fact.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. But the last time I talked to him, we were eating subs, and he didn't have any prospects on the horizon.
Interesting.
Now my wife said he's married. I'm like, what?
Interesting.
We'll unpack this another time.
Yeah.
So, and then, hey, we got another listener, Flo, reached out to us.
Flo.
It's always the greatest.
Yeah.
Between Shell and Flo, there's probably like Young Jimmy.
Young
Shell,
Jimmy.
Flo. Those
yeah.
dudes are always in there. Boo Boo used to be cool.
Yeah, now we're just be real friends.
Yeah, what's up with... What happened to Boo Boo?
Dude, Ely was on Be Real the other day. I about fell out of my seat.
Yeah, once a fucking year.
Sitting at the DMV. All the cool shit he does, and he gives us a Be Real from the DMV.
I saw that. That's how you know how bored he was. Motherfucker looked at his phone for the first time in 3 weeks. Sitting at DMV. Decided to take a picture. That dude called me up today and was like, my wife was telling me you have a really good like stereo setup at your house. He was like, well, what's going on? I kind of need a new stereo. I was like, oh, you don't want this.
Don't get in on this.
You don't want to know what I'm doing. He's like, no, I need to know. I was like, sit back. So there's Sonos. And and then
is that what he called you about?
I guarantee that's what he's talking about. That dude is going all out.
He likes the finer things.
He does. I'm pretty excited. But Flo reached out.
Then you won't be catching all the grief for your super expensive
No, once I get Ely
stereo.
on, winner.
Yeah.
I'm in a good spot.
I think he's already mocked you for it though, right? Did he not know this? I feel like
there's two different speeds with him, right?
Yeah.
There's haha, anything I can say at Brendan's expense. Don't care what's going on.
Yeah.
Then there's his wife said, hey, I heard these speakers at Brendan's house. I really liked them.
Yeah.
And now he's coming in from a very different angle.
Yeah.
Because he's like, hey, my wife said
my
this
wife
was good.
likes it, so I like it.
What's going on over at your house? See,
he's such a beta.
He had no... Oh, yes. So true. But...
Well, his wife is a Disney adult. She's one of those, like, crazed Disney people. And I feel like if any of our wives were that and his wife wasn't, I feel like the hits would just keep coming.
That's a fact. He'd be all over us. Like, what kind of a moron?
Yeah.
Goes to Disney, spends $20,000.
Yeah. Multiple times a year.
It's crazy. Be a normal person. Just get a drug addiction. Yeah. You know? No, you're absolutely right. But his wife said something, so then he came at it from a different angle. Tell me more. Now he's willing to, and he's like, this sounds amazing.
By the way, I hit him up the other day because I don't know if you noticed this on Facebook. His brother is on Marketplace selling a box of hay for $10.
I did see that. What the hell is that?
So I texted him a screenshot of it.
Ely. I figured it was a joke.
I said, what is going on here? He goes, what in the fuck is this? I go, you're his brother. I thought you knew what was going on. He goes, I have no idea what this is, but you know me and you know I'm texting him right now to ask about it. I've yet to hear what the answer is.
I did see that. I just figured he was fucking around.
Up. I'm like, is it a joke? But what kind of joke is that? Like,
hilarious.
To take time to put hay in a box and put it on Facebook and ask $10 for it? Like, I don't get the joke.
If he gets the $10, joke's on us.
Is it?
Yeah, sure.
That's what $10 is worth? You're worth to do all that to get to air quotes make $10?
Oh,
We know what it's like selling stuff.
I'm gonna negotiate that down. I'm not paying $10 for the box.
How about I just take a handful of hay out of it and give you $2? Like the old
Fuck
Chris
the cup.
Rock.
Pour it in my hand for a dime.
But like,
you got change for $100.
We talk about this. I mean, you talked about it at the beginning of the episode about the guy willing to take a loss on the boat to not deal with idiots. So what I see people,
his brother's actively leaning into idiots.
That's not his brother.
No, that is odd.
That like,
it's got to be code. It's some like weird swinger thing.
I am super cheap, and I would give a $10 item away before I'd fuck around with.
No, I think it's a spaghetti party, lasagna party.
It must be.
I think it's a swinger
thought
thing.
About that.
You go on Facebook Marketplace, you say, I have a box of hay for sale. then somebody slides into your DMs and
They're
goes,
like, I'm looking for a bag of hay.
and be like, oh, interesting. What color bag? And they're
Yeah.
like, purple. And you're like, okay, yeah, we're down with purple.
Yeah.
I think it's just a way to attract swingers. This is my theory.
So weird.
This is the loofah on the car window at
Yeah.
Villages. This
In
is
the
what's
upside
up.
down pineapple.
Yeah.
This is the new one.
His brother's trying to fuck.
It's the country version.
Oh, it's a farmer's only thing. Yeah. Yes. I want to swing, but with a bearded woman. That's what he's looking for. Okay. I can get down with that.
I'm down for barn fucking.
Dude, I saw a gal in New York, and this was clearly like, so this gal was clearly a dude. Fantastic beard.
Yeah.
Huge dude. This guy's the definition of a bear. But like big old high heels on, shirt all opened up, letting his titties fly. Like,
Hairy chest.
oh yeah. All done up and just walking fabulous as shit with that beard. And my wife's like, that's my favorite drag queen ever right there. And I'm like, how can you be a drag queen if you've got a full hipster beard?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a thing now.
So you can be a sexy bearded woman?
I think so.
Man, I'm out of the loop.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn brought me back. Like I
Yeah.
saw it and I was like, yeah, that's the kind of shit I
She
was
knew who
looking-
that was?
No.
Oh.
He was way too fabulous to not be batting for the other team.
Yeah.
But his beard, like, was fantastic.
Yeah, but you can't assume that that person's
Gay?
sexuality. I mean, you can't assume that.
I can assume whatever the fuck I want. This dude was
But you
wearing,
could be wrong.
yeah, he could just be a
Yeah.
high heel aficionado.
Yeah.
I could be way off.
Yeah.
And a shirt that doesn't have enough buttons. but he had everything going on.
Dress? Skirt?
No. Just
Heels with pants?
capris.
Ah.
Like I'm not even like I
Yeah.
don't even know where to put capris. Capris are the worst. Like they don't even look good on women.
Some capris on some women. I mean, you got to have super long legs.
Yeah, you got to have enough leg coming out the bottom of the capri to make me go capri. But it's red.
It is more of a old lady thing.
Yeah, but he was rocking it, and was like he was fairly yoked. That beard.
Oh,
though,
really?
I mean, them titties were hanging out nice. I'm not mad at him.
They
He
weren't
would've-
they weren't muscle titties.
They were at one time. They weren't now. But it's that kind of stuff. I didn't realize, and she was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." There's bears who would rather dress up as women, and like this is just their world. And I was like, "Have you ever been to like a drag brunch and seen that?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "So they really are bearded women."
Yeah. I have seen pictures of that. I haven't been, but I've seen pictures.
The whole new thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I assume Ely's brother's into: the bearded women.
I like that you closed that door with that.
I mean, that's just what I assume is
Hope he
happening.
listens to this.
You know, you put the hay out there.
Yeah.
You get
Box
that.
hay.
You get that bearded woman. Then both of you are happy.
Somebody reach out if you know what the fuck a box of hay for $10 on Facebook Marketplace is for. I gotta know.
Please tell me it's fishing for bearded women.
Now I have his brother's contact and I know him well. I could easily reach out to him, but I don't even know how to like approach this subject. Like,
I would say it's an Amish swinger, but they don't have Facebook.
yeah,
So it's like somebody's got to get that and then hit up their Amish buddy and go, "I found one." It's a whole
that's a lot of work.
the long and winding road. But thank God for the crooked road that brought you to me. You know?
Oh,
I'm not mad. Not
I
mad.
forget where
Just
we
confused.
were going before I asked. I interrupted your.
Before all that, I just wanted to send a shout out to Flo for sending something in saying that
That's what it was.
That we were actually pretty good at beer because we both say Guinness is the pinnacle. It's the highest scoring beer we could rate for a deli. And
We had that article that said that.
that's what he sent in.
Yeah.
And he was saying that literally when interviewing a bunch of people, like there was some survey and it went out and interviewed all these people, and America's number one favorite beer, not by sales, but just by the one that most people are like, "Oh no, this is my favorite beer," is Guinness.
We nailed that.
We've nailed that.
Yeah.
So our whole deli barometer is spot on. It's not the beer you want every time.
Yes.
But it is the best beer.
Yes.
And America agrees with us, and Flo now has the proof that he was able to send to us. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Thank you, Flo.
We weren't wrong.
We like being proven right occasionally.
Yes. Survey of, I'm sure it was enough people to be substantial.
Yeah.
You know?
Surveys are funny like that when you're like, you see the fine print and they're like, we surveyed 125 people. It's like, well, that doesn't mean
Dude,
shit.
we survey between 2 and 5 people every weekend here, and we go, gospel.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not enough to be statistically relevant.
Yeah.
But we don't give a shit.
No.
Like, that's how we do it.
Yeah.
But this survey, I assume, was hundreds of thousands of people.
I do think, and obviously when it's more than just you and me, I do think we have a good barometer for delis. Like, I think more often than not, we're pretty spot on. Like, there's always the caveat of so-and-so is going to like this. I mean, we had Kansas City Joe tell us how great hams was. You know, like, he's the anomaly for the hams. But, like, most people do not like hams.
I did find a dive bar in New York.
Yeah, you talked about that. The dive bar does, like, Tabasco or something in it.
Well, so that's the one in Folly Beach that I love, Low Life. And they do the hams, the loaded hams. And I found a dive bar in New York called Bandits. And Bandits does loaded beers. Like, they take bad beers, and they load them up. They had all kinds of crazy shit. Ones with, like, Greek yogurt in it and stuff.
What?
And then ones that were, like, taco flavored. So I was in there just putting down funky-ass beers. Ended up befriending the owner.
No wonder you felt like shit.
Oh, yeah, I do weird shit.
Yeah.
You get me off the leash. And then this dude he hates Fireball.
Uh-huh.
So he makes a cinnamon toast crunch version of Fireball that he makes himself with overproofed whiskey.
Interesting.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Oh, yeah, I just remembered. I got a deck of playing cards from that place. He just gave it to me. He came out and was like, boom, you need a deck of Bandits playing cards. 'Cause
Nice.
I was like the awkward old guy.
Yeah.
Taking pictures of like all the Bandit signs.
Yeah.
I was like, I really like this place. Everyone in there, 24 years old, partying their asses off. And they carded me when I walked in.
Really?
Yeah. You know what she said? This is how I knew I was going to stay. She's like, God, I hope I look that good when I'm that old.
Oh, she played you.
And I was like, I'll stay here all day.
You didn't hear that old part.
Oh, I did. I did. I got it. I was older than every motherfucker in there.
Yeah.
I could have been a dad. But I was having a blast. I hung out in there, partied. The place was all right. Pulled one of these. My wife was like, close the tab. And she went to the bathroom. She came back and had another beer in front of me.
Nice.
She was like, I thought we were closing. I was like, you went to the bathroom.
I thought you were buying this.
I thought you left. I was so freaked out. I didn't know what to do. I was distraught.
Oh, you weren't buying this big round we had?
No. That place, they just kept giving us free shit.
Yeah.
They loved us. It's crazy. We were in there telling them how to care for their plants. It was a weird place. It was a weird place. That place was no bigger than this. Than
Nice.
the house. Yeah.
Those are always the best bars.
That was it. And if we didn't have a dead cat named Bandit, there's no way we would have walked right past it.
Oh, that's right. You did have a cat named Bandit.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, it's Bandits. My wife was like, oh, we should go in there.
Y'all were cosmic there, I'm sure. It's meant to be.
Oh, my God. And then their shirts had stupid cats on them and shit. Like,
Did you buy one?
we tried. Then he just gave me free cards and free shots.
Nice.
He was like, we're all out of shirts, man. The kids got one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We did get that. We got a lot of weird shit.
Sounds like it.
Everyone got something but me, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Came home with mozzarella and bacon and all kinds of Japanese shit from my youngest daughter. My oldest daughter's got a Bandit shirt.
Yeah, it was hard when we were traveling across country not to buy like cool shit everywhere.
It's hard because
Like-
you're like, it's a memory.
You're like, I'm never going to be back here. I like the shirt, but like, I did manage to only buy one hat, which was huge.
You're still wearing it, I see.
Yeah, and I think I bought 3 or 4 shirts, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think I bought anything. I did walk into one place. You ever walk into those places that are like way too expensive, but you just walk in and like everything you see, you're like, I want everything in here. I found one of those stores because my wife was like across the street, and I walked in. Everything I touched, I was like, that's softer than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, oh, and that's so much cooler. But there wasn't a shirt in there under $200.
Oh, man.
And my wife's like, you should get it. And I'm like, you're not helping.
Yeah.
Like, this is not what I need.
Yeah.
Like, I want a $10 shirt from Bandits more than I want a $200 shirt that I'll never wear. It's funny how that works.
So you didn't buy the $200 shirt?
No. Because I knew I'd spend $200 at the next place I went to.
It's funny because whenever when I do make a purchase like that, like if I buy a nice pair of shoes or something, I end up, like you said, never wearing it because I'm like, ew, it's too nice. I don't want to mess it up.
I don't want to mess it up.
Like I end up never wearing whatever I bought.
I just bought a brand new pair of Vans. I should say brand new. I've had them for 2 months. I've never worn them out of my house.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they're just too cool.
Yeah.
It's just, I hate when that happens.
Yep.
You buy something, you like it, and then you're like, I'm screwed.
Oh.
What the hell did you just do? You just put a hearing aid in that just went 1,000 decibels?
No, your biofreeze just got my eye.
Oh.
Nice.
It fixes eyes too.
Yeah, it does.
I sprayed it over here.
Menthol. I know the fan must have kicked some of it up.
I've just been rocking some biofreeze lately, man.
I love that shit.
I mean, I've been watching, World's Cup. Well, actually, I'm no longer
You're
watching
not
World's
watching
Cup.
it.
I'll never watch it again on account of, remember when America was good at women's soccer?
It was bad, huh? I didn't watch a lot of it.
We're not good.
We scored 3 goals in 4 games.
What happened there?
And all 3 of those goals were in the first one.
This is bad.
It's real bad.
Like, we fell apart fast.
Yeah. And most of the country was happy to see it.
I've been, really?
Yeah.
To see us lose?
Yeah. You didn't hear about all that?
No, that's asinine.
It's a thing.
There's revolting against the American women's team.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Just a lot of people don't like them.
We're just tired of winning?
Tired of their attitudes.
Oh.
The whole, get paid more and,
Equality?
Well,
fucking worse.
That's not equality. That's not equality.
It's not, but I can understand why I'm fighting for it.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, boy, you're going to go down this road. You telling me you don't think WNBA stars should be paid what the NBA is paid? Is that what you're about to fucking tell me? Because that's bullshit. That's bullshit. These women have spent time in Russian prisons for us.
Yeah. I mean, it's just business 101, and I'm not even a business guy. Like, you got to make money to get paid, right? Like,
I get it. I mean, there was that guy who was sleeping at the WNBA. That was funny. That was funny.
The fact is, and it's a ugly truth, but the women's soccer, WNBA, they just don't draw. They don't draw the crowds.
Women's World Cup does.
Not compared to what the men's draws.
I would argue that it does. Because the men suck and the women are great. Now, if the men were good...
You'd be wrong.
No, if the men were good, more people would flock to it.
More people watch men's World Cup that sucks than women's World Cup that's good. That's statistically true.
That may be, but it is bullshit. If there's ever been a women's sport where I could see us, like, let's argue for fair pay.
Yeah.
How about the women who've won the fucking thing against the guys who've never won the thing?
But, like, just because you're the best at something doesn't mean you should be paid millions.
No, but I'm willing to have this argument with Women's World Cup, and I'm not going to have that argument with WNBA and NBA, but I'll have this argument with beach volleyball. I would much rather
Well, they make more money. Those women make more money than the men.
Oh, well, then I'm protesting the other way. I want more men in Speedos getting paid.
Certain women's sports do out-earn men's sports.
Yeah, it kind of...
Tennis, I think those women make more.
No way.
Yeah.
But, hey, look, but there's a sport, right? If you tell me if you're watching women's tennis or men's tennis, I'm still watching the same sport.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, I don't have any kind of preconceived notion about watching women's versus men. Basketball, I do. Unfortunately, I just do. They can't dunk. They can't do the other things.
Well, it's not just you. It's everyone. Like, I mean, we're most of our country's women. So if women's sports want to be good, if all the women follow the women's sports, the numbers would be there.
Look at like NASCAR or any kind of car racing. Women can break right through at that level.
I guess they have it.
No, but
Yeah.
Danica was able to compete.
Yeah.
Right? So she ended up making more money just
Yeah.
because she was a novelty and she was sexy and she was great.
I mean, my whole argument is just because you're the best at something doesn't mean you deserve millions. Like we were in Pittsburgh, we went to the national Rubik's Cube championships.
Nerds.
Those guys can solve Rubik's cubes. Guys and girls can solve Rubik's cubes in 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Because that,
But there's no money in it.
there's no desire to watch it. There's no sponsors coming in, so it's just business.
So America's revolting though.
Yeah.
Like they were happy to see them lose.
Yeah,
I find that horrible because you should have patriotism should far outweigh sexism.
come on.
It should.
How many people in this country don't like this country?
Oh, I understand the inherent problem of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like we're in a weird moment in time,
Yeah.
but like I don't see why we're coming at the women asked for more money because they're better.
Well, and they knelt for the national anthem. That didn't go over well. Stuff like that. People don't like that stuff.
Get it, but we're doing it in NFL.
They didn't like it there either.
Yeah, but they didn't revolt.
Some people
actually
did. Some people
fuck,
did.
I have to take it back. They did start to revolt
Yeah.
against certain players and certain teams.
Yep.
Kaepernick can't even get in the fucking game.
No.
Now he's aged out. Like,
Yep.
unfortunately, the window to play is very small.
Yeah.
And if you get put on the outs, that stage,
Yeah.
your window, it shrinks fast.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to raise this Bud Light to the women U.S. soccer team. I'm going to fucking drink it.
Bud Light.
I'm going to swill this down. This Bud Light looks awful lot like a Miller Light.
Your special edition can you got there?
Yeah. It's that new light. It's the new light beer from Miller. You should try it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see them win again, obviously.
Yeah. So I never was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I want us to win.
Yeah.
That's just,
I'm pro USA.
I'm a big USA guy.
I'll take that stand.
Yeah. Like, oh, were we a little too braggadocious? Yeah, it's America. We're better than you.
Yeah.
Of course we're a little braggadocious.
Well, and we'd had a bunch of good runs.
Yeah, we're the best.
I mean, this was our worst finish in the World Cup.
Dude, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing to watch.
Well, no one watched it because of the damn hours.
Yeah, and then
One game was at 3 a.m. The final game was at 5 a.m.
and then you wake up and you get the spoiler.
Yeah.
You get the spoiler and it's like they won again. You'll put it on.
Yeah.
You find out they got just zeros on the
Yeah.
board. You're like, I'm not really going to watch that.
No.
It's not so good.
No.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, we got 4 more years till we care again. Or don't care.
We got 2 years till we carry.
Because then the men come in.
Then the men suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we really get to flex our nuts.
That's right.
We're the worst.
Yeah.
And I get excited every damn time. Like, this is going to be...
This is our year.
The Miracle on Ice ruined me. It makes me believe that we can beat anybody.
Yeah.
And so I keep holding out hope for the Miracle on Grass.
But how happy will you be if we did win a World Cup?
I mean, I'd be happy for a day.
I mean, you're not a big soccer. You don't follow soccer, so it's not like it's gonna.
It's not going to change my life.
Yeah.
But if you start running, like once you get past that first round, everybody starts tuning in.
Yeah.
It would be over the top exciting if it happened.
Yeah.
It wouldn't change my life,
No.
but I'd skip work.
I'd be happy for Terrence
I'd skip work on the finals,
for sure,
you know?
or even a semifinal.
Like I think America would slow down dramatically that day.
I mean, I've been to a men's World Cup game at the pub before, and it's electric.
Yeah. Like that's the kind of stuff that
Yeah.
I dig. So, yeah, I'd be all in.
That's got to hurt Terrence, right?
The Women's Cup not going the way they it was bad. Penny Lane was banking on some stuff,
Yeah.
even though they're Brits.
Well, I guess actually they probably didn't get much on the pool play games if they're playing at 3 a.m. They can't.
No.
And at 5, they can't serve before 6.
6. They need a nice 6 a.m. game.
Yeah.
Match.
7. That way everybody can get there at 6.
Even better.
Yeah. They don't have to worry about it now.
It's like the world doesn't even care.
No.
But an American pub in Richmond. British American pub. You're cool, Terrence.
Yeah.
If anyone comes to Richmond to visit, go to Penny Lane Pub. Certainly
Yes.
worth your time. And if you need a house, right? You need a mortgage, and you're in
Screen
Richmond,
door.
If you're in Virginia or if you're in Georgia,
Yep.
it's real easy. That's the disclaimer I should be putting out. You kind of have to be in Virginia or Georgia. But we're kind of a regional podcast.
Few people. There's enough people that live in those areas.
I believe so. Just reach out to Screen Door Mortgage. Jimmy will take care of you.
Tell them we sent.
Please do.
Yes.
I'd like to see him get a bunch more. Or if you head over to Nectar Sunglasses, you can always try Abacus in the coupon code. You get 20% off what are already damn good looking sunglasses.
At an affordable price.
Which I like. And polarized at that price.
Yes.
I'm a fan of. So, yeah, that's pretty sweet. If you haven't had a chance to send us any topics, please do at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We'd love to hear what you're talking about. Even if you're just telling us that we're right and that we can't park a boat.
We like to hear that.
That's what I learned about this week.
That's right.
Hey, so be it. And if you have too much discretionary money, you can always hit us up on Venmo.
At Inside the Pallet House on
That's
Venmo.
the one. You can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Even though we're probably not active in any of it these days, we're really not.
Facebook. I see the Facebook stuff.
But we're not doing a great job of like.
No, I don't post a lot on there, but I do see the interaction.
You know what would motivate me? If I just saw more reviews.
Yes.
That would motivate me.
That would be nice.
It would motivate me. Get me going.
Go to the app and give us a review, 5-star review. Write us a review. That really helps.
It does. It helps. Oh, now you're checking?
I'll check, but I can only assume we haven't gotten one in quite a while because that tends to be how it works.
You're going to make me stall out right here at the end when you're like, oh, wait, Tiny Tim.
Well, I mean, if we're going to bitch about it and someone...
I understand. So I'll just keep padding.
No, last one was February 6th.
Bob Marley's birthday. Respect.
D. Cannon. Come on, get at us.
Or you can always just Cincinnati swap your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, whomever it may be. It's real easy. Just grab their phone, you sign them up for the podcast.
Yes.
They will appreciate it.
Double Cincinnati swap.
Ooh, respect.
2 for 1.
I like it.
Squeezing lemons.
There you go. Get the Squeezing Lemons guys a shout out. Rand Taylor won't mind.
Nope.
They're cool like that.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
You've done better. Yeah. Done worse.